Hello, I'd like to introduce a significant new feature, the Agile Integrator. Now, the integrator plays a huge role in the amount of time that you are going to spend manually integrating. This is a parameterless integrator, which saves time in adjusting the parameters because the algorithm actually figures those out for you, the peak width and the thresholding. This will be the default integrator as we move forward, and I'd like to point out the advantages to you here. Well, why do we need another integrator, you might ask? Well, this integrator is expected to support both mass spec, single, and MS data with one algorithm. We also hope to support different separation techniques with one algorithm. And the reason is because we have a minimal and predictable data range requirements. So there's a large improvement in the amount of baseline data that was required in order to get a peak integrated. And we'll call that the local concept of this integrator, which is significantly different and improved. I'll show you in a moment that this does also support the time segments with different noise levels. Also works across all chromatogram types, EICs, TICs, and is significantly faster than the current shipping MS integrator. Let's take a look at some of the advantages of the Agile integrator. If we have an integration that has a flat baseline, then the integration is not extremely challenging, but if you're on a sloping baseline, a rising baseline, let's say, the integration is much more challenging. And Agile does a considerably better job because it's looking at the localized noise in terms of picking off the peaks on a rising or sloping baseline. Another attribute is pulling out small intensity peaks when they're right next to a large intensity peak. In this case, you can see the Agile integrator has picked up the small peak right next to a very, very large peak. This is useful in the case where isomers have similar retention times and one isomer has a much larger intensity than the other, or in purity with very similar analogs. A very important aspect in GC triple is dividing up your chromatography into time segments. And in this case, you can see that the noise level in different time segments can be significantly different. So the Agile integrator is quite smart in determining that noise level, and as you can see here, it picks up this peak in this particular time segment, whereas the shipping integrator has difficulty determining that noise level, does not take into account the time segments. So that's quite advantageous. And last, but extremely importantly, is the speed or performance. If we take a look at a small study of large batches doing the entire analyze operation, you can see that the Agile integrator speed makes a significant contribution because the total analysis time is reduced by a factor of roughly 2 in this release. That can make a significant difference in your speed of analysis in batch at a glance.